Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Derp Your Hooves. So, this is kind of a quickish video, and we are in the Blacksquare Caravan Caravan, and we're flying in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Now, I know that I haven't captured the whole flight, because I actually flew from Los Angeles all the way to Lake Tahoe. Really, really long flight. And we're flying in the amphibian, so I kind of wanted to just capture the landing part of it. And there's not going to be a whole lot of talking in this video. So I'm just going to kind of let you know what's going on right now. So we took off from Catalina, and we flew all the way to Lake Tahoe in the Blacksquare Caravan. And the flight was really good. It was a long flight in the Caravan, but that's what it would be in this kind of aircraft, and it handled it brilliantly the whole way there. And we did end up climbing to about 14,000 feet to clear all the mountains and everything so we could land at Lake Tahoe, because I don't want to land at the airport. I want to land in the lake itself. That's why I'm in the amphibian. So there's a couple things about the Blacksquare Caravan Caravan. One of them is you have to turn the airframe, the aircraft stress damage off in 2024, because, as I found out flying this for the past week or so, even with the updates that we have recently, it doesn't. It's not so much the landing, but it's then trying to take off again. And I had flown in places like Japan, and I even, tried other like oceans and seas that were relatively calm. And it just kept crashing as I tried to take off out of the water. And so I went and I tried some lakes, because, lakes are calmer than the ocean, and it was the same thing. I could land in the lakes, but I couldn't take off. And I was getting really frustrated, because I'm just like, because you get frustrated when you pay for a product and you're like, what's going on? So I went and I looked it up, and Blacksquare acknowledged that they say it's an issue with the sim, and apparently it's been an issue with the sim since they released 2024. So you just turn off the airframe damage, and it solves the problem, and it'll let you take off. Now, in this video, we are not going to be taking off from the water. We're just landing. And let me tell you something. So, if you want a challenge, and you want to fly something that's kind of GA-ish, this is a good aircraft to start. It's definitely, well, it's more realistic than the Asobo Grand Caravan Amphibian that you get. And, it's got the analog gauges. Forgive me for not calling them steam gauges. I prefer to call them analog gauges. So it doesn't have the displays in it. Now, there's one small other thing in 2024, and this is an issue with a lot of aircraft, that for some reason third-party developers in Asobo, I don't know what's going on here, but the instrument lights apparently work in 2020 on the Blacksquare Grand Caravan. I haven't tried it. Trying not to go back to flying 2020, trying to ride out 2024 and get used to flying in that, because it's so much better than 2020. But you do have the flood panel light, so when you're flying at night or in low light conditions, you can use that. And I really would like to see some instrument lights in more and more of the aircraft. Because all of the functions and features should be there. But that being said, this isn't the only aircraft out that has this issue. It's just nice to have all the bells and whistles. So, other than that, this aircraft is really a joy to fly. And for realism, yes, it's going to make you work. So if you're looking for an aircraft that you can just hop into and fly, and putt around and be like, hey, I'm flying a plane, well, then this is not it for you. If you're looking for something that has definitely a higher level of realism that makes you pay attention to what you're doing, and actually learn about flying, then this is a good one to start with. And as for an amphibian, um, well, there's a huge difference between taking off and landing on a runway and taking off and landing in water. And um, this can land on a runway, and it's a little different when you have to land on a runway. You got to land a little more flat. Um, but it can be done, and I just didn't do it in this video. And I'm sorry I didn't show you the takeoff from Catalina. It was a really long flight in this turboprop, and it was enjoyable. So if you guys ever want to have a fun flight, go ahead and do this. And we did brave some weather, a little bit of rain, a little bit of freezing rain, some snow, and we had to use the inertial particle separator, which it's interesting. So we're basically just focusing on the landing here into Lake Tahoe. And I'm going to show you both views. I'm going to show you the cockpit view landing, and I'm going to show you the external view landing. So I just kind of hope you enjoy this video, and I do highly recommend this plane. And again, I want to say, as always, I am not in the pockets of any of these third-party developers or Asobo. No one gifts me planes. I pay for them myself out of my hard-earned money from my job. So just like you, the average person, not someone who's being endorsed, no one is scripting me. No one's telling me. There's no incentive for me whatsoever to lie about these aircraft or to embellish, because I'm just like you. I'm just a flight sim fan, and I want to get the best flying experience. So if you want to fly something amphibian, and you want to fly something that flies at about 18,000 feet, the ceiling's 20, but I wouldn't push 20. It'll go about 17, 18, so I've discovered, and that's about it. And you're going to start to stall. But this is a really good aircraft, really good GA aircraft. And if you like water landings, if you're like I'm a big float plane fan, this is a great plane. So just sit back and enjoy the rest of the video. And hey, everybody, don't forget to derp your hooves. So one of the things that I want to add here is, depending on where you're going to be landing, again, remember, we're flying, so you really need to kind of plan your flight out. And one of the things that you should do, especially if you're going to be doing water landings, is know what the elevation of the water is that you're landing on, so that you can land, kind of prepared and make your descent right.
Gear is up for water landing.
Just so you know, even with the gears up, you're going to get this warning. And if you don't manually clear it, you're going to get this warning, and eventually you will hear another voice, "Gears are up for water landing." And I really don't want that, so I just go ahead and I manually hit the button. And so pretty much there you have the water landing. Now, we also are going to have to drop our water rudders here, and you need them to steer in the water. I can't seem to find any way to bind the water rudder like I would in a Sobo aircraft with the Blacksquare Caravan. And I looked through the Blacksquare manual. I can't find anything as of this version of it. So you have to do it manually, so just be prepared for that. Now we're just going to go ahead and look at the external view. Same landing, just what it looks like from the outside versus the cockpit view. And there you have it. So this is the Cessna Grand Caravan Amphibian from Blacksquare. Um, again, it's really a lot of fun to fly. It's a little challenging, bit of a learning curve. You actually have to focus when you're flying, but it's really a blast, and I highly recommend it. So I just wanted to say to everyone and every pony, all my viewers, thank you so much for watching Derp Your Hooves. Subscribers and viewers, hey, you make this channel happen. Otherwise I probably wouldn't want to make these videos. And again, I know it's been a while since I make videos, but I'm still trying to get them done with a job and other things I got going on. You guys mean a lot to me, and I really like doing these videos for you guys. So, as always, to everyone and every pony, thanks for watching Derp Your Hooves, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the skies.